Welcome to another edition of Speak to the People on Pace Television. Normally we do hard news on Speak to the People. You know, we talk to politicians and we talk to people who are misbehaving in the civil service and that sort of thing. But we're going to change pace today. We're going to, as they say, we're going to change course today. And we're going to speak to a very lovely young lady. A lady who has a message, and she also has a problem. As I told you, we have a surprise. Lovely young lady, Miss Keno Ward. And I'm sure most of you in Mandeville know Miss Keno Ward. And I'm going to tell you she's the sister of Sabrina Ward, Miss Manchester, and so forth, and so forth, and so forth. Okay? But before we introduce you to her and speak to her, we're going to play a little clip of her performing in Mandeville. And then you'll get the idea. Okay? So listen to this clip.
Students of the Emmanuel Kinder Prep, Keno and Sabrina Ward. Please welcome them as they come.
It's a new day. It's a Sunday. The feeling is right. Sun is shining bright. Dark clouds have all gone by. Flowers springing, birds are singing. There's nothing but blue skies. Yeah. God is king, and we're his children. Together we live, sharing his love, a love that's so true. What more can we give? Sun is shining bright. Dark clouds have all gone by. Flowers springing, birds are singing. There's nothing but blue skies. Sun is shining bright. Dark clouds have all gone by. Flowers springing, birds are singing. There's nothing but blue skies. Poised in central Manchester, built in the heart of the town, is Emmanuel Kinder Prep, standing tall and secure. Emmanuel, Emmanuel, God is with us. Emmanuel. strength and guide. Christian fellowship and daily task, always in grace abide.
Welcome to Place Television.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's just take a little serious moment here. Kino is suffering from sickle cell. I don't want to go into the definition of sickle cell, etc., because I'm sure just about every Jamaican should know by now what sickle cell is about. It's an incurable, I don't like to say, to call it a disease, I like to say it's an incurable affliction, mostly inherited. So far we haven't found any cure for it. I don't even know if they will ever find one. Personally, I think there is a cure. But I think the black race needs to do some research, because we are the ones that are afflicted by this disease. Yet we do the least research. I find it most amazing. However, that's for another show. Kino is putting on a concert, that you attend this concert, because we need to see this young lady from Manchester. We need to see her well. She looks well. She behaves well. She acts well. But physically, that's another question. And don't take me out of context. Things happen in Haiti, and we collect barrels and barrels, and we send over there, and we take the last tin food off the shelf and we send to Haiti. And yes, we should. We should. So why we can't do it for our own? Kino, speak to us. Tell us what's been happening to you.
Apart from having sickle cell disease and living with pain, and coping with the disease, I have actually developed a vascular necrosis of the hip bone.
All right. Tell the old people like me what that's all about.
Well, in simpler terms, it's actually a disease of the hip, where lack of blood supply, the blood supply is not going to the hips, so you get pain, and you get a lot of pain. But it's lack of oxygen pushing blood, so the supply of the blood going through to the legs, goes down, so the blood doesn't go through, and the tissue, breaks down and all of that. So you'll have constant pain in that area.
All right, let me ask you now. You're a student at the college, right? Okay. All right.
Yes, the college, right.
And why I'm bringing that out? At what stage did you discover that you had sickle cell?
Well, I was actually diagnosed very early at 11 months old.
Okay.
11 months old.
So
So I knew all my life.
right, so virtually lived with it.
Exactly. I knew all my life, you know, that this is it.
Yeah.
And I was actually part of the first batch
Okay.
of persons who were diagnosed here in Mandeville, you know, so that was way back when I refused to say how long, but
Okay.
yes.
Give the viewers an idea now. And for persons who will discover tomorrow, next day, or next year that they have, how did you cope with it?
Oh boy.
Through your high school days, for example.
Oh my goodness. Being this person, well, being taught at home to greet everyone with a smile and making sure you respect even someone who is younger than you are. And just being honest. I was taught to be honest. I was taught to have manners. My mom is a principal, my dad is a pastor. Wow. So, oh, nothing.
No, but not.
Oh boy. Oh man. I tell you, it has been, you know, a rough time for me. But back then,
I'm getting that keynote. But
yes.
you know, here you are, a young high school student, right? Just trying to get an education, just trying to enter the journey of womanhood then,
yes, yes.
right? And you have this heavy responsibility.
Oh boy, yes.
You have this medical situation to cope with.
Yeah.
How did the other kids, for example, react to you when they saw you in pain and
Oh my
you know?
God.
What was that like?
You know, at first I was teased because my eyes were very yellow because of jaundice, and some guys would be, you know, calling me curry eyes. But you know, I was always in my sweater, always keeping warm, always in a sweater, and the parents and teachers, they all knew, you know, that I have sickle cell. And the good thing was that I had a guidance counselor, Mrs. Sonia Allen. Mrs. Sonia Allen was my guidance counselor back then, and she stuck by me. She really stuck by me. Yes, definitely. To this day, she stuck by me, and you know, it was like, okay, to me it was like I'm the only person in the school that was sick. So I could get my lunches free, or at the first, you know, at the line and all of that. But my classmates really rallied around me, and to this day, I still have them around me.
When I ask you the question, if you don't want to answer, it's quite alright, we understand. But one of the mistakes that I think that people make is when people have a particular illness, we treat them different. Were you treated different, and how did you feel about that?
Yes, and they didn't understand what it was at first, but then I would have to go up on stage or in class and, you know, just let them know that it's just something that you get from your parents, you know. You won't catch it if I touch you. You won't catch it if I sneeze on you or we share food together or anything like that.
But the research says it's basically inherited. It's a hereditary
You
type
can only
disease.
get it if your parents have it. My both parents have the trait.
I was just going to ask you.
Both of them have the trait, and back then, you know, there weren't a lot of testing being done with pregnant women, and you know, so yeah, Mr. Ward and Mrs. Ward got together. They had me, found out, you know, I have sickle cell disease. But from then, my dad started, you know, Dr. Robbins, who diagnosed me, and